for reminding. So I started recording also. Okay. So Compute Cloud is a basic computation unit. Um, this is a web service portal, and here the first section is compute, right? Whatever comes under the compute engine or compute cloud or computation power, it comes under compute. We have EC2, we have EC2 container service, elastic beanstalk, lambda, all those things. We'll see that. But first is a major and most important thing is EC2. EC2 is elastic compute cloud where we launch instances or virtual machines. Okay, I'm going to click it. It will take me to the EC2 EC2 portal. Okay, the web page. Okay, so here you see resources, right? I have zero running instance, zero dedicated host, right? Dedicated host, I remember I was talking about, like you have contract, 3-year contract, 1-year contract, and you dedicatedly have the host running. That's a dedicated host, right? Volumes, key pair, placement group, elastic, all those things are like on one security group, but all those things are zero. Okay. Now there are multiple ways to launch the instance. It's not, I won't say multiple ways, but multiple links through which you can launch the instance, right? Either you can click here and launch the instance. Okay, you can click here and go to the instance and launch the instance. Okay. Ahem. Before that, 1 minute before that, I would like to tell you one thing which I missed yesterday. Okay, remember I was talking about um, the the basics of having cloud. Okay, it has to be a distributed system. So AWS has spread across the globe. They have US East region, US West region, they have Europe, Frankfurt, London, they have Tokyo, they have Singapore region. Lot of regions are there. Okay, so there are a lot of regions where they have mentioned a lot of they have set up a lot of data center, and you can launch your instances in any of the cloud zone, right? Cloud area. So here if you right click on that Singapore, right, you see Singapore, we have US East, you have US West, right? California, we have US West, some other location, European Union, Ireland, Frankfurt, Asia Pacific, Tokyo, Singapore, Sydney, we have South America, right? We have a lot of places, right? Now you can choose which area you want to launch the instance, right? Let's say I want to launch the instance in US East. So I can, right now it says Singapore, I can click on the US East. Okay, and then I am in North Virginia, and now if I launch any instance, it will be launched under US East region, right? North Virginia, and it says nothing is running. Now I can, this way I can keep on changing, and I can launch wherever I want. Now second thing, one more important thing, within the area, right? You have a lot of regions. They call these things called as regions, right? North Virginia, US East region, US West region, Singapore region. On top of it, AWS has done one more good thing. What they have done, within the region they have distributed data center, right? For example, in Singapore, I just taking, it's everywhere, but I'm just taking one name. Singapore region, they have availability zone, right? After region they have availability zone. Now what is availability zone? Availability zone means within Singapore they don't have just one building or one data center. Within Singapore they have 3 4 data centers, or 3 4 buildings, you can say. One could be in, like, south of Singapore, one could be north of Singapore, one could be central, one could be east, one could be in the west, all those things. These are called as AZs. In short, we call as AZs, availability zones. Yeah, you can launch even instances in different availability zone within the region also. For example, let's say I want to launch in Singapore. Okay, so I am going to launch in Singapore. In Singapore also they have different AZs, availability zone. Now which availability zone I want to launch? So just to make sure, I may launch in availability zone A. So they called as A, B, C, D availability zone. So I can launch one in 1A and one in 1B. Now, why it is important? Regions, right? What is a why? Sorry, why do we need regions? Because let's say in Singapore something happened, natural calamity or earthquake, or something happened, so you have US East or Tokyo region also, right? But let's think about it. If there's nothing bigger happen, only the thing is, let's say fire breakout happened or power went off for the building. So within Singapore, they have multiple buildings or multiple AZs, ability zone. So just to make sure that one building in Singapore East has some kind of fire, let's say, or power outage, and that the whole cloud data center goes down. You still have Singapore 1B region, 1B AZ, where you can still serve the purpose, right? So they have a local HA and they have a global HA, right? So local HA is availability zone. Within Singapore, they have multiple availability zone, which is different buildings, and they have a global HA, which means that you have in Singapore, you have in US East, you have in US West, you have in Frankfurt, all those things, right? So are we clear on regions and availability zones?
Yes.
Yeah, great, right? So okay, this is the availability zone. So I'm going to launch in North Virginia. Okay, out of all the regions, North Virginia is the cheapest one, US East, right? So again, one more point to be noted here. The thing is, each and every regions, right? The pricing is not same. If you launch in US East, some instance, and you launch in Singapore, the rate may differ slightly, little bit, because of, like, where you are launching, their taxing policy, their kind of cost for them, right? I mean, Singapore is maybe costly, US is may not be costly, right, to set up. So they may keep on changing the rates and the pricing according to the regions. So so far US East has been, like, cheapest region where you can launch the instance. Okay, okay. These are the some small details which I wanted to share. Now let's go ahead and launch the instance, right? So okay, before even launching, let's go and left hand side, right? We have instances, we have images, elastic block store, network security. A lot of things are there under EC2. So you can jump from web services, one web service to another web services. Now first let's go ahead and launch the instance, right? I can click here or here, doesn't matter, wherever I click, it will land me to the launch instance page. I am clicking into the launch instance. So I hope you guys are able to see my screen, and the session is also being recorded. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay, now, as I said, any instance or any VM is comprised of CPU, memory, and disk. Okay, those are the hardwares. But what about software? So for software, you need operating system on top of it, right? The operating system is a must to bring up the instance. Now, for the operating system, there could be multiple operating system, right? You have Ubuntu, Red Hat, CentOS, Windows. A lot of things are there, right? Now, which one to select? So this first, it says choose a correct image or operating system image which you want to use, right? So here in the quick start section, you have some very few and widely used images for of operating system, right? You can see Linux, Amazon Linux, AMI, Red Hat Enterprise, SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, where Microsoft Windows Server and all those things. So you can select one of these. Okay, under my AMI, we will see when we create images, right? We can create a operating system image according to, your company needs some customized image, right? You can create image and use it. We'll see how to do all those things, right? Now third is AWS Marketplace. What is AWS Marketplace? Is a marketplace where you have lot of types of, almost all sort of images available within AWS. So AWS has categories, for example, like testing tools, source control tools. They have inbuilt everything, right? So there are a lot of images available. And the third is community image, right? Now, what is community image? The community image is nothing but it's the same as a GitHub, right? People write code and contribute to the open source. So this community image is kind of open source community where you can create some image and put it in community image and people can use it. Let's say I am creating a operating system image for some particular reason, like database operating system image, right, which has MySQL database pre-built everything, and I can put it here and people can use as a database image, right? We'll look at it, right? So right now I'm going to quick start. I'm going to show you the important thing. Whenever you see free tier eligibility, this is the one which you should be using it, right? If it's not written free tier eligibility, that means Amazon is going to charge you for operating system. Okay, so this operating system is free, this is free, right? This even Windows is free, but this Windows is not free because it's not written it's eligible for free tier, right? So others are, this is free but others are not free. Okay, so this way you can decide which to select. Right now I'm just going to select free, like Ubuntu 14.04 server. Okay, now coming to little bit more in detail, virtualization type, right? HVM. There are two types of virtualization: paravirtual and HVM. Now, when the virtualization started, right? It's cloud is nothing but it's a virtual machine now. Okay? But when the virtualization started, the first started at the operating system level. The hypervisor would be there. That's a hypervisor, nothing but software, and you virtualize your resources and distribute your resources at the software level, right? So you install software which create virtual machines. That is called as paravirtual, but that was not efficient. I mean, it's not efficient, but the new technique came as a HVM. HVM is hardware virtual machine. That means now you don't need to install a software to create a virtual machine because the virtualization can be taken care at hardware level itself, which would be much faster than software, right? Because now hardware is coming in such a way that they itself support the virtualization, right? This is the latest one, right? The Amazon has implemented it like recent year, like 2 years, 2 or 3 years before they started HVM implementing. So now all are HVM, right? So these are the HVM. You will see some para virtuals also, yeah, like this para virtualized image. But now Amazon do not prefer you to use para virtual because they are completely moving from para virtual to HVM. Okay, so don't use para virtual, always use HVM. That's a faster and latest one. Okay, because HVM needs the hardware compatibility for like hardware virtualization. Para virtual doesn't need hardware compatibility because software takes care of the virtualization. Okay, apart from that, this is my Ubuntu machine, right? Forget about like SSD volume and all those things mentioned. We will see all those things when we cover those things. But this is like Ubuntu 14.04 LTS virtual machine. Okay, and then we can select. Okay, now
A doubt.
yes.
Uh, regarding this is doubt regarding the Ubuntu 14.04. I was using Ubuntu 16.04 when I was using the Chef. Uh, the Chef in the Ubuntu it is only supported with 14.04, where I can't even unable to get the 14 version because it's newly updated, right? So how exactly where I can get the Ubuntu 14.04?
It's here only. It's if you click on the choose AMI, it's here only.
Oh, okay. It's available for the from the Dell AWS only.
Yeah, it's available in the AWS.
Okay. When I was using the Chef, it is a problem for me. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. So here's the thing, right? This AMI, right? The image is called as AMI, Amazon Machine Image. It's not the same image as the operating system image which we got on the disk or something else. because see here the instances, the virtualization is type of Amazon, right? So what happens, Amazon understand its virtualization and the cloud, and the what it does, Amazon has its own operating system images. That's why we call as those operating system images. We just don't call as operating system images, we call them AMI, Amazon machine image, right? Because why we call this machine Amazon machine image, because these are the images which can be understand by Amazon, right? AWS can understand those images. You cannot just upload any open images which is available on the market. No, you cannot use that here. And even you can't even download these Amazon images and use somewhere else. It's a customized images. It's a operating system image only. The way the images or operating system images we get outside, it's the same image, but Amazon has put a wrapper on top of it and make it understandable in the Amazon way. Okay, so these are called as, that's why they call as Amazon machine images, AMI. We'll see how to create and all those things. I'm not going deep into that. Okay, so I'm just going to select Ubuntu 14.04, right? Otherwise, if you want, you can go to the AWS marketplace, right? There you get everything, right? You go to, let's say, operating system is okay. Operating system, there are like 117 operating system products. Okay, they have all those things: CentOS, Ubuntu, right? For to 12.04, you have Ubuntu 14.04, right? Everything is there. And then they says like what is the cost, 0 per hour for software plus AWS usage free and all those things. It's all mentioned. You can select whatever you want. 117 types of images are there. You can select whatever you want. Okay, okay, so let me go to the quick start.
Is there AIX also in this one?
I need to check. I really don't know, but that's a good question. Even I haven't checked. I usually checked for like normal Linux like Red Hat, Ubuntu, SUSE Linux, CentOS, and all those things. I really don't know about AIX. But since you have asked, let's search for it. AIX. No, no, no AIX. Um, what types of Unix is there? Debian, GNU, FreeBSD is there, Open Server. Let's say Solaris is there or not. No, they don't have these.
Because they're all licensed, I guess. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I think the IX and like HP Unix, DEC Unix, and all those things, those need a special hardware also. So I'm not sure how those can be used here.
No, I
Okay,
mean, but AIX has come into Intel hardware as well now, but I don't know if they're not supporting it yet.
yeah, maybe they're on roadmap or something. Actually, in
Maybe.
fact, they are working on the Mac OS also. Actually, that's what the latest news I heard about. They were working on bringing Mac OS also, but that's like a roadmap for them. Okay, let's select this.
Okay.
Okay, now I selected the operating system, right? Now after that, it's asking me choose the instance type, which instance type I want to select, right? Now here's the thing: always select T2 Micro, because T2 Micro is the one which comes with free tier eligibility, right? Remember I talked about like 750 hours of in a T2 micro instance are free. If you launch any other instance, it's not free, it will be charged. So please do not launch any other instance. Even for testing purpose you may launch, but please shut it down, so they will only charge you for 1 hour, not more than that. But T2 micro actually is more than enough to perform any action. I mean, you want to test something, you want to do whatever R&D you want, T2 micro is more than enough. Sorry. So please always launch T2 micro. Do not launch anything else. Even T2 nano is not free. So it's clearly the free tier eligibility. Okay. So I selected which instance type I want. So when I'm selecting instance type, what I'm specifying. That means I need T2 micro. That means I'm specifying I need this much CPU and this much memory. So T2 micro comes with one virtual CPU and 1 GB memory. Okay, which is more than enough to install Ubuntu and perform our testing. Okay, now next, I'm just clicking on the next, configure instance detail. Okay, now these are few things which is little bit in advance. We will see down the line, but I'll just go through quickly. Number of instance. Let's say I want to launch 10 instance similar to that. I can just give 10, but right now I'll just give this is what I want. Okay. Now network. VPC, virtual private cloud. Okay, you have to select a VPC for it. Now, I will not go again into deep, but VPC is kind of VLAN. If you know about little bit about networking on the office or any other data center, so you have VLAN, right? VLAN connecting to all your systems. So this is nothing but it's a VPC is a kind of VLAN, virtual private network. Now what happens? Think about it. Cloud, it's a public cloud. Anybody can launch any instance. Now if I am also launching a production instance, you're also launching production instance, and how can I and both of our production servers can connect each other? That's a security risk, right? How can we separate out everybody's instances from each other, right? So VPC is the way to create it. So VPC, what it does, whenever you create your account, Amazon creates a default VPC, default networking for you. It's like small cloud inside the cloud, and you can access that cloud. Nobody else can access. So that's a VPC. You can create multiple VPCs. I'll tell you what's the use and all those things. You create multiple VPC, but Amazon creates one default VPC, and you have to select one of them. Without VPC, you cannot launch, right? So VPC is the kind of your area where you are going to launch. It's a logical area, not physical area. Okay, it's a logical way of grouping your system. Okay, I have a better example for VPC. I'll cover when we come to VPC. Okay, so I'm just I have multiple VPC. I'm just going to create use the default VPC. Now subnet. Okay, now subnet is defines your IPs, right? What ranges of IP you get. Okay, so here it says now you see US is to 1E, 1D, 1C, 1B. That means those are the AZs, right? Remember, the AZ is availability zone. In US East, 1E is a one building, 1D is a different building, C is a different building, and D is a different building, right? So, in that, what all your subnets would be and how many IPs you get, they are showing it. So, I just select any of these, like, no preference. I'll say, okay, select any AZs, I don't care. But in production time, you can select which AZ you want. Okay, it will just create some sub, it will default take default subnet will take and assign me some IP. Okay, okay, I'm not auto enabling IAM role. I haven't gone through IAM role, so let's skip it. I'll leave everything else as it is. Okay, okay, now shutdown behavior, right? When I do shutdown to my system, what do I want? There are options. When I do shutdown, just terminate the instance so that I don't even have to worry about deleting it. Or second option is just stop it because I may need to start it again. Okay, then yeah, enable CloudWatch monitoring, right? So it has its own monitoring system. Do you want to enable it or disable it, right? Enabling it, again, it says additional charges apply, right, when you do monitoring. And tendency shared, I don't want dedicated, right? These are the things which is little bit advanced detail. It's like leave it, all those things, it's leave the default. Okay, now next, add the storage. Okay, uh, in the storage, um, it has its own way of storing the data, or providing the disk, right? As I said, in compute engine you need memory, CPU, disk. Now memory and CPU is already defined, already taken care in T2 medium, right? Now what about the disk, where I need to install operating system? So here we will add disk, right? So it says root volume, the slash volume where the OS will be installed. Okay, size is 8 GB. That volume type is this. Forget about it right now. I will come to that volume type later when we cover that. These are the IOPS. I'll cover that. Okay, all those things. It just like oh shit. I went to back. Sorry. Sorry guys. I just clicked. No, I just clicked somewhere else and went. Okay, so here's the story, right? I'm adding 8 GB storage where my operating system will be installed. Okay, now tagging, right? What is the tagging? Okay, go back to previous. I can add more storage also. Let's say this is 8 GB is a root partition. Let's say I want data partition also where I'm going to store my data. I can add data also, right? Let's say I need 100 GB of data partition. I can add that also along with that. Okay, so right now I'm not adding it because I want to add it after that, right? So I want to show you how to add the storage once, how to mount it. Okay, so next, tag instance. What is a tagging? Tagging is nothing but it's a logical, like, key value pair. It's a logical way of separating out your machine. Let's say I want to give machine name as v12 testing, right? So I have given the value B12 testing. I can create n number of tags is just to keep your value attached to this instance. So why it is important? For example, you are launching hundreds of instances for different team, and now you want to know, hey, checkout team is using how many instances? How do you get it? So you can say you can add a tag to each instance. Like this instance, let's say product, right? Product. This belongs to checkout product. Let's say OWNER. Who is the owner? Let's say I say Vishal, right? Let's say, and I can just think of any key and I can put the value. Okay, let's say cost center, right? So I can say cost center is A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, some some cost center I can provide. So what happens in the down the line? Somebody asks, hey, tell me how many instances have been launched by Vishal. You can just search according to this owner tag and see, hey, okay, owner tag Vishal is attached to like 37 instances. That means 37 instances was long has ownership with Vishal. Let's say product, checkout product has 12 instances. Similar way, this is very easy to understand. um, um, which instance belongs to whom. Otherwise, if you keep on launching, it's very difficult to identify what is running where. Okay, so these are tagging. Now configure security group. Security group is, I'll come to the security group later point of time again, but here let me tell you the small thing. Security group says, um, okay, select an existing group. You can just select default. Okay, so security group says who can connect to your system on which port, right? So you are going to open your system on which port to the public. You have to define, right? Now VPC is what? VPC is small isolated cloud for you. Okay, now you have created cloud, you are going to launch instance, but if nobody can access your instance, what's the point? So now you say, hey, I'm opening some port for some sources, right? So here it says, this security group says, I'm opening port 80 on all for all IPs. I'm opening port 8001 and 22 also for all IPs, right? So anybody can connect to my system on these ports, not any other ports, right? I'll come to that security group also in detail. We'll create the security group. Review and launch. Okay, this is what it is. You can review and launch, right? So it says impure security. That's fine. These are the warning messages. Okay, so you can review what you are going to use everything. Now I'm just going to click on the launch. Okay, now keep here. uh, in Amazon, they do not share any username password with you. Okay, they don't have default username password for any operating system to log in. What they have only default username but no password for it. This is they say I will give you mechanism, a nice keep your mechanism where you provide your SSH keys to us, and I will let you log into the system, right? So I guess you guys know about the keys, RSA key and all those things, public and private key. Are you guys aware of it? I mean, if not, then I can.
Not accurate, not accurately, but
Okay, no
something
problem. So I'll
explain
go
me.
through it. So the key pair is whenever you say public and private key, right? Whenever you create a key pair, it's a public and private key. What happens? Private key you keep with you, and public key you give to someone whom you want to access, right? And then when you try to log in, okay, that guy will say, okay, you want to log in, I have your public key, this is your public key, and then you get the public key and you validate that public key along with your private key, and it matches, then only you can log in, right? So no more username password, it's all public and private key, right? So here it says either you use existing public. So here the thing, AWS says, give us your public key, and I will whenever I'm whatever instance I'm launching, I will keep your public key inside that, you should then you so that you should be able to log in, right? So you have to upload public key to the AWS, right? Now how to do that? It says you don't have to upload, you have to create a new one. So here it says I'm going to create a new one, right? Create a new pair, forget about the existing one. Okay, key pair. Now key pair value name is, let's say, B12. I'm just hyphen key, I'm just using key. So now it says you have to download a private key file. Now when I say create a new key pair, what will happen? Amazon will create a public and private key for me, and it will Amazon will store my public key and will give private key to me, because private key has to be with me, right? And Amazon will store public key with Amazon. Okay, so it says you have to download the private key before you continue, store it in a secure accessible location. Okay, so I'm just going to download the key pair. Okay, so it will be downloaded as a b12-key.pam. Okay, I'm going to store it. It's been stored here. Okay, now I can launch the instance, because now this key, this is the key name. The public key is with Amazon, and private key is with me, and Amazon will add my public key into the system so that I can log in. I'm clicking on launch instance. So it says applying the tags, everything. Okay, now I can see my instance is being launched. Okay, now how to check the log? If I want to check the system log, right, booting log, I can go to the action, right? I can instance setting, I can go to get system log. So if I click here, okay, right now there is no system log, it will come up. Now what is happening in the background? So in background, Amazon AWS is taking the one CPU from somewhere, and one GB memory, and then it's the image is already there. It's applying the image, and it's creating the instance in a virtual machine with the help of operating system which we have given, right? If I do get system log, okay, it's not coming. It should come actually. The green letters will show the system log. We'll see the system log. Okay. Now let's look at little bit over here, right? What it says. The name is B2 testing. Right? That's what the instance name I have given. Instance ID, right? What is the instance ID? Amazon don't even care about what name you give. For each instance, they create their own ID, right? The own id they create, it's a their form of identifying any instance or any resource in the aws. So this is their id. This is instance type. Availability zone, us is the region, and 1b is the availability zone inside that. Instance is running state. It's still initializing. It says running, but still a lot of initialization process going on. Key is this. Virtualization is hvm. Okay, so now, if you go down a little bit, here also a lot of information you can get, right? Instance ID, public DNS, it has already created one public DNS. This is the public IP, this is a private IP, this is the instance type, right? VPC, you get the subnet, security group, view rules, and all those things. And this is the device which has added, right? This all those information you can get it. Status check, it's still getting initialize. Monitoring, we don't have any monitoring, but these are not a CloudWatch monitoring which is paid. It's like just simple monitoring, like how many disks IO going on and CPU utilization, memory, network, and all those things. The normal kind of graph it gives. Right now graph is empty because just now started, no graph for it. And text which you can see. Okay, yes. Okay, now let's see how to log into the system, right? How to log into the system. So I'm just going to take public IP because I'm accessing from my laptop, right? It's not of the same VPC. So I have to use public IP. Okay, let me increase the size. Okay, come on. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll go to download. This is where I see my key, right? Okay. Now one more thing. It will tell you how to connect also. Okay. If you click on the connect, let's say this, if you click on the connect, it will tell you how to connect. Now, if you guys are using Windows machine, right? So you need to use PuTTY to connect to the machine because it's SSH connection, right? Windows doesn't have native SSH, so you need to use PuTTY. On PuTTY, how to use the PuTTY? The link is here. You can click here. It will go through. You have to convert PAM to PPK file. How to convert PAM to PPK file is all documented here. Okay, everything is here. You have to convert PAM file to PPK file, right? And then PPK file you have to use it. Okay, how to store, everything is there, very well documentation. Okay, and if you are using Mac OS or any other Linux flavor of system, you can directly use like this. So first we have to change the mode of the PAM because PAM file has to be secure. So I'm just going to change the mode. So right now it's a read write read read, right? Now if I see, right now it's only read. The This option is gone. Now I can connect like this.
When did you download the B12 key PEM? Did you download it or
Yeah,
how
yeah,
is it
yeah.
in your system?
I did download. So remember
Oh, okay.
when I was create a new key pair and I click on download, and it got downloaded onto my system.
Okay.
Okay, I can show you again. No, not a problem. 1 minute. Mm, okay, let's say key pair, right? Your name. Let's say I give test. Okay, and create. See, test.pam. It gives me option to create download. Right, it's downloaded, and I can click OK, and it will get downloaded. See,
Okay, okay.
right. So if I look at right now test, it's here just on downloaded. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the instance. Let's Okay, so this is a system log which I was talking about, right? So if you understand, so now if you understand the booting sequence and booting log, see you can see here all the booting sequence, right? For example, if you want to troubleshoot something or check the booting sequence, booting log is here just for your confirmation. Okay, okay. Now I want to connect it. I can click on the connect. It will Okay, it will give me how to connect. So I can just copy as it is. I can go to my terminal, right? Copy paste ssh hyphen I. So ssh is like secure shell to connect. Hyphen I is the identification, the key file I'm passing, b12 hyphen keypam, and Ubuntu, right? So as I mentioned, Amazon does not give you a password, but it gives you a default username. So the default username is the Ubuntu. Okay, so it has added your public key for a default username as a Ubuntu. Okay, so you should be able to log in. I'm clicking over here. Okay, so it will ask for, do you want to continue the fingerprint and all. It will match first time, it will upload, and then yes, so it's added to the a known host so that your fingerprint matches. Okay, now I'm connected, right? You can see host name, right? It's like this. And if I do top, right, I can see I have 1 GB of memory. Okay, these are the load average. This is the load average. This is the one I'm using. This is the free and all those things, right? If I do slash etc, no, sorry, proc CPU. Oh, okay. Cat proc info. If you see cat proc info, it can tell you that we have a processor ID with 0, right? So it doesn't mean that processor 0 means processor there is a 0 processor. I mean, it can't be, but it start with like that array, right? It start with 0. The 0th is the first item. So this processor ID is 0, right? And we have only one processor. There is no other ID for the processor. So this means I just wanted to show you that yes, it belongs to T2 Medium, which has 1 GB of memory and one CPU. Okay, so this is our system. You can see df-h, and you see we have 8 GB of slash partition where our operating system is installed. Okay, and if you go to cd slash, you can see all the binaries. So there are a lot of binaries, MNT, proc, and all. I mean, it's a. I just wanted to show you this is a proper operating system, a virtual machine. Okay. Um, I'll just close it. Okay. So any questions so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So okay. So next, I'm going to talk about elasticity, right? Elastic property. Okay, before that, let's talk about something a real time scenario, right? Let's say you're a DevOps engineer, and the team comes up with you that they want, let's say, 4 core CPU machine with 16 GB memory for their application. Okay, you have created instance, you have given it. Now tomorrow they comes back and says, hey, 4 CPU and 8 GB is really less for me, and I want to increase the capacity. So how are you going to increase the capacity? Think about it. So it's like, the option is, you have to launch the 8 core and 32 GB of machine, and what you are going to do, hey, install your software there. It's a pain for them, again installing and configuring. Maybe day after tomorrow they need a bigger machine, right? So Amazon says you don't have to do all those things. We give you elastic property in your instances. That means you can increase and decrease the size of the instance. Okay, how, we will see now. I'm going to just action stop the instance, because to increase or decrease the stop is necessary. So I'm just going to stop it. Yes, stop. Okay, now here I got disconnected, right? It says broadcast message power off. Fine. Okay, stopping.
Like how many instances can we do in the free testing
Okay,
AWS?
only you can do T2 micro. Again, here you see 750 hours of EC2 instance of T2 micro. That means doesn't matter, you can launch. So total number of hours they give you is 750 hours. Now you can launch 750 T2 micro instances only for 1 hour, or you can launch one T2 micro instance which can run for 750 hours, right? Or you can launch 75 T2 micro for 10 hours. You're getting the point, right? It's like, hours for T2 micro. If you are have one T2 micro, they will call that one hour. If you launch two T2 micro instance and it's all running, they will count as a two hours, 1 hour for each, so that total is two hours each hour. Getting my point, right? So your limit is 750 hours.
Cryptography might be helpful.
Sorry.
I guess. Can you repeat that again?
So they give total 750 hours of T2 micro you can launch. Now it's up to you to reduce 750 hours as per you. Either you can launch one T2 micro instance and that can run for 750 hours. They will not charge you. Or you can run 10 T2 micro instance for 75 hours. Right? If you run 10 T2 micro instance for 75 hours, that means it covers 750 hours total, right? That means one T2 micro instance run for 75 hours, and you are launching 10 T2 micro instance for 75 hours. To 75 into 10 is 750 hours. Getting my point?
Yes. Actually, your
So
voice
it's
was
like
cut down,
man
so I
hours,
was not
right?
unable to hear
Your
you.
project, man hours. You say, hey, I need to finish this project in, like, 300, 3000 man hours, right? What do you mean by that? Do you assign one person for 3000 hours to finish the project? No. What you do, you have team of 10, and 10 people working like 8 hours daily. So that means you are counting 80 hours per day. The combination of all those, team members is counted as a combined hours, right? So this same way here, if they have given 750 hours of T2 micro, now you launch 750 T2 micro instance for just for 1 hour, and you are exceeding your quota. Or you can run one T2 micro instance for 750 hours. Am I clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it's like similar to man hours we use for project, right? This is 300 man hours. Doesn't mean that one man has to work for 300 hours. You can have 10 man working on same project, and can be finished in like 30 hours total, because each one will work on 30 hours, which combines 300 hours, right? Similar way over here. So whenever you said 70 50 hours of this, 750 hours of this, 30 GB, it's a combine, right? It's a combine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's stop.
Vishal, in a
Yeah.
nutshell, I'm trying to understand one thing. So it's like in earlier, like we used to have servers in data centers. Now we are having the same server in a cloud in Amazon Web Instance.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So
Yeah, that's it, right? Exactly. But the basic gain over here, if you remember from my first slide, right? If let's say you have started a small company, right, and you need to run
okay,
your production system, and you got funding of like, let's say 50K. Now you want to launch your set up your data center, and data center says, I need 40K for set up your data center. I mean, all your funding goes to just say data center, even before you launch your product. In AWS, what you can do, you don't own the data center. What you do, whenever you want, you can launch the instance and pay what you use for. So there is a lot of flexibility. It's the same way. So underneath also, Amazon is on those buildings, the different availability zones, different regions. It's running their data center only. Okay, because that's a data center is the basic thing. But on the top of data center, they have built their Amazon Web Services, a wrapper where people can use their data center as per their need. Flexibility.
yeah. So the whole purpose of this course is like is what, like just yeah, able to spin VMs and use them and deploy whatever application you want to run on them. So that is what we're trying to do, and just use it as a regular server, right? That's all we're going to do.
Not
That is
just a server. No, we are not even just stopping at instance. Instance is not just a thing in AWS, right? There are a lot of things. For example, how to create ELPs, right? How to manipulate your storage, what all offering. So it's not about, see, this course, this session is not at all about how to use your instance and all those things, how to deploy application. You know how to deploy your application. That's a perfectly right. If it's a Tomcat application, you know how to deploy the Tomcat application on any VM. The same way you can deploy on instance also. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it, the web services which AWS is offering. Okay, in that instance, the EC2 is one of the web services which AWS is offering. We are not here to learn how to deploy the application. No, each application will be deployed their own way, right? Some may be JBoss, some may be Tomcat, some may be its own jar and more. But here this session is concentrating on the understanding of the AWS, Amazon Web Services, what are offering AWS gives us, and how to use them. This session is about that. Is it clear
okay.
now? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Like we are getting like a code in the real time. What exactly happened? Or like we are getting a code from the developers, and we are using the AWS as a DevOps team. Like I'm imagine the picture. What exactly how it works out there? Like
Okay. Do you know how it works out in data center? It's the same way will work out here.
yeah,
No change. No change. Only the thing is the AWS is offering flexibility and lot of web services. That's all. Otherwise, the application you deploy is not going to change. The use is not going to change. It will be same. Only thing is, instead of data center, you are doing it on AWS, and AWS offers a lot of other facilities. I'll come to that. I'll come to slowly on that part. You just don't use any of the machines straight away like this. You do a lot of things. We'll see that. Okay, so
yeah,
like for
okay.
example, in data center, you do a lot of manipulation, right? It's not just about deploying the application. I mean, that's like, you tell your any fresher, just give a run book. Hey, this is the application. You take it from here, run this command, and do it. He will do it, right? It's not about just application deployment. It's about managing your the complete environment, right? Managing your the complete system, how to manage via this web services. That's what we are concentrating. Okay, I'll show you a lot of things. You'll come to that. We just started. We just started. This is the first web service we are looking at it. Okay, okay. So let's go ahead. Okay, now I'll just click on the action. It's stopped condition. Now I want to change the instance type, right? So I can just the instance setting. Okay, I can go to change instance type, right? Now earlier it was T2 micro. Let me go and launch as a T2 medium, right? And then apply, right? Now I can just go and say, hey, start it. It's going to start. So what I have done here, I have increased the capacity. Now don't, okay, one more thing. I have launched from T2 micro to T2 medium, which will be charged for me. Okay, I'm fine with that. But it's just for you, FYI, that if you launch other than any T2, micro or T2 small, these will be charged, right? So okay, now what I have done now, I have increased the capacity. Now let me log in and see what is my capacity now. Right? I can just click on the connect. This is the connection details. I can do. So server is same. Okay, the beauty of this is server is not going to change. Operating system is not going to change. Let's say you have installed some Apache, Tomcat, or database, right? It will be there. Amazon is not creating a new instance for you, right? What it's doing, it's increasing the capacity of your instance. So your operating system, your installation, software, tools, and all those things will be running as it is. That's a beauty, right? So whoever comes to you and says, "Hey, my capacity increase it," you can just increase it, and he doesn't need to care about like the installation of its application, right? Everything will be already installed. Now, if I do top, you see now it has becoming 4 GB. Now I have 4 GB of memory instead of 1 GB. Okay. Now if I do cat proc CPU info, I should be getting 2 CPUs now, right? So this is the processor ID 0, and then next is processor ID 1. Now I got 2 CPUs, right? So now I have increased the capacity. That's why this AWS give them as a name as elastic compute cloud EC2, so that it has elastic property. If I want to decrease it, I can decrease it, right? I can just go to click, stop it, right? And then once it is stopped, it's not active because it's still in the stopping. And then I can decrease the I can decrease it to back to T2 small or T2 micro or whatever I want, right? So that's why this is an elastic property, and you can manipulate it. I mean, I can increase from T2 medium to extra large CPU, and whatever I want I can increase it, right? I can increase it up to from 1 CPU to 100 CPU, or 500 GB memory, whatever they can offer, I can increase it without an issue. Okay, so this was the session on, okay, EC2. Okay, that's now ELP. Okay, so this is the EC2 instance. Okay, this was the for the today's session, uh, talking about like EC2, elastic storage, how to launch, how to, we have covered little bit, all those things like volumes, VPC, and all those things. We'll go deep into that. Okay, so any questions so far?
No, but I have to get to the video, and I'll guess tomorrow there might be questions. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, one more thing. I have shared directory with you. Okay, AWS directory. So
yeah, yeah.
I'll keep on uploading these videos into same directory. You won't get again a new link for it, because I have already shared directory. So whatever I'm going to put, you will be able to see it without any new link. So just see that particular directory after 2 hours. Within 2 hours, I will upload this video to the same AWS directory, and you should be able to see that.
One small stupid question.
Yeah.
Uh, actually, it's small. I want to picturize everything like, we're going back to the chef, which we are using the client, slaves or the nodes and the chef client, all those things, right? And is that which the in the AWS which is using the servers, is that exactly what we're going there?
Uh, no, I didn't get your question.
I mean to say that like you are using the AWS as the server, or for the storage purpose, AWS, right?
Uh-huh.
And in the chef, we are using the nodes, different kinds of nodes and slaves for the. Is that exactly which you are going? My path is correct where I'm going exactly?
Okay, so okay, got it. So here's the thing, right? What is node in the chef, right? Nodes are nothing but a servers, right? Your machines. So those nodes are machines. Those machines can be anywhere. Those machines can be your, your machine hypervisor or bare metal in data center. Could be virtual machine. Could be instances. Anything could be. So these which you see the instance, right? This is nothing but a node for chef.
That's my question. Yes, I got your answer.
Yeah, this is node for chef, right? In fact, you can have a server also over here. You can install server also. You can do whatever you want, but this is a actually when you talked about it, it's a node. You can add this as a chef node.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question, guys?
Thank you for
Yeah,
no. Thank you for the class, Vishal.
sure. So yeah, so I'm really sorry about today. Delay. Really apologize for it. Tomorrow I'll be on the time, and we'll start the session at the right time. Okay. And please, the today's assignment is, please go ahead, launch an instance. At least launch instance. See, the thing is, I'll tell you what the why I always emphasize on assignment and doing practices, because whatever I have shown you, right, you can get it. Okay, you have idea about it now. You understood everything. But after 1 week, if I ask you a launch instance, you will forget it because you haven't done it, right? So since it is free, the T2, that free trial eligibility, right? I was showing everything. Please launch an instance in that so that you will have the kind of smooth way to understanding, how to launch the instance. And if you want, you can try to do some R&D also inside that free trial eligibility and limit. You can try to do something on the instance. You can start, stop. You do want to do some installation. Try to, if you want to do some weird thing on instance, do it. Go ahead, do it. Right? That's what I'm saying. If you don't do it, after a week or 2 weeks, you will forget, right? You will forget the whole sequence which we have seen. Then again, you have to go through the videos and links and all those things. So please do the practice. Come back with the questions. You may end up with some questions or doubts, some errors, right? So please go ahead, ask the questions tomorrow. We'll answer. We'll try to solve your doubts. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow
Thank you.
at right time, the usual time. I'll be there. Thank you. Bye.